Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm actually going to upload some Ground War today. I ended up playing some Modern Warfare 2, even though I said it's not my main focus anymore, and it still won't be my main focus because the game is running even worse than before on my PC now, and I can barely finish matches without crashing. So it's very unfortunate. Again, I actually really enjoy these two Ground War maps they added, which that's what I'm going to talk about today. But first, spicy. So I'm having my post-workout shake here because today is a good day. So one, it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I can't complain about that. I mean, you know, it's winter and it's 70 degrees out. So I went outside, you know, got to the gym this morning, and I ended up smashing my PR for leg press, which I did last week as well. It's only been 5 weeks back in the gym after being 2 years off for injury and laziness, I guess. I was injured and I also was lazy. But I hit 1,103 pounds for leg press because I had 22 plates, so 990 pounds. The machine's 103 pounds, so I had 1,100 pounds. And I did it for 4 reps. I know I had 5 or 6 in me. I bitched out, and yeah, I didn't end up doing it because it was like my 5th set, 6th set. I just didn't really want to risk it for the biscuit. But I'm probably going to shoot for 1,200 at some point. I don't know how high I'm going to be able to go. I mean, you know, I lift naturally. Do I look like somebody who's on gear doing 1,100 pounds? No. So yeah, I just diet properly. You know, I've been doing that. I've been losing the pounds. Man, I'm feeling amazing, guys. I just want to tell you that, you know, it's crazy. If you guys are struggling out there, eating cleaner, going to the gym, you know, maybe some medicine too, but man, you feel fucking amazing, man. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Ground War, and let's discuss. Alright, everybody, here we are on Zai Observatory, and I have gotten to say, InfinityWard learned from their map design in the beginning of Ground War. These two maps right here, Airport and Zai Observatory, are amazing. Now, are they as good as like Farmland, Boneyard, Anya Palace from, you know, Modern Warfare 2019? No, I mean, I think Airport is better than Verdansk International Airport, and it's because that map had a lot of glitches that never got resolved, but these maps are really good, and the reason being is they're not extremely wide. They don't have a million different rooftops that people can just fly out of the pavelo on and just sit on for the entire game. They actually encourage the player to go around to the different flags and play the map as a map. It's just crazy how, you know, InfinityWard actually did that instead of having Timbuktu on every single map where someone could just sit for no reason and just completely chalks the game flow and point of playing objectives and all this other kind. Like, it just, I don't know. Sharif Bay is the best example of this. The map, I mean, pretty much everybody I know says they hate Sharif Bay. Tarak is just a flat piece of land, basically, that you have barely any cover. Again, most people, again, I talk to, they hate that map. Saeed, just rooftop simulator. Same thing with Santa Senya border crossing. There's also the boonies on that map, you know. You got so many buildings that just are nowhere near flags, and there's no reason for them to exist, and that, you know, they didn't trim the map down. And Giharo, it's the same thing. There's just so many rooftops, so many buildings, so much unnecessary area of the map and play space that just serves zero purpose whatsoever, and it just doesn't make sense why it's there. But these two maps, Zai Observatory and International Airport, are completely different. And the reason being is, so on Airport, the tanks have the advantage to drop off their teammates around the point of interest, you know, the flags. And they also fight each other outside. They're not just focusing on infantry the entire time and cheesing. So they're trying to fight over getting tank control and, you know, map control with each other, so that way they can attack the different POIs and points of interest, you know, all that kind of stuff, all the different flags. I'm just gonna call them the flags. They can attack all the different flags, drop off their teammates, stuff like that. And that's what the outer area of the map is for. And, maybe snipers can sit out there and try to pick people off through the windows and all that kind of stuff on the inside of the map. Also, there's no pavlo on it, so people actually have to fight for map control. Crazy. I know. You're actually in a war where there's front lines instead of just spawn dying over and over again out of a helicopter and going anywhere you want on the map. So many people, and this is the reason I'm saying it this way, is because you guys won't believe the amount of people that always tell me, like, ground war's supposed to be realistic and they love the helicopter and they love all this kind of stuff. But, a war doesn't just have all their resources flying down to the ground as paratroopers getting exhausted. Because, in the real war, you don't respawn. Okay? So that's my argument there. Because there's so many people always try to argue this. They're like, well, ground war is supposed to be this realistic war and all this kind. No. Listen, there's front lines in a war. Okay? They're not just going to parachute everybody down to the ground behind the enemy lines and just waste all their resources that way. Because if you guys play the ground war, you see people just jumping out of the heli all game long. They sit up in the heli, they're sniping from the heli, doing all this kind of stuff. I really wish InfinityWard would still just block people from being able to shoot their guns while they're in that heli. They should have to come down and play the game. Crazy, I know. Wonderful idea. Will it ever happen? No. They should just remove the pavlo. It's a stupid idea, in my opinion. And the reason it's a stupid idea is because you don't have to fight for map control. You just spawn in, fly down, tack, insert, do whatever you want, and there you go. Free rotation on the map, and completely takes away the whole idea of actually having to fight. It takes away flanking. It takes away trying to stay on the objectives and trying to hold the front line so you can make a push on the map. It completely negates teamwork because most of the objectives are so spread out that you just spawn in from the helicopter, you go down, the other team spawns in from the helicopter, they go down. If you want to rotate to another objective, you got to run 300 or so meters if you're playing on a map like Sharif Bay. Just horrible game design. But these maps aren't like that. These maps, the objectives are pretty close to each other. They're about 100 meters away. The pavlo still exists on this map right here. However, it's not bad on this map, or I should say as bad as other maps, because I still hate it, but it's not as bad as the other maps because the pavlo can't fly too high. There's a limit on how high it can fly on this map. On top of that, there's a lot of areas on these rooftops where they actually added, I know you guys aren't going to believe this, but InfinityWard actually sat there at their desk instead of taking a cookie cutter tool and just saying, yep, here's the map, throw some spawns, throw some tanks, and that's the map. They actually took their time and added some out-of-bounds areas on these maps so people can't sit in goofy spots and they actually have to, oh my god, dare I say it, play the map. So they actually did something right about that, and the transport heli on this map really just has people getting free flanks, which, again, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I'll take that over people just getting parachuted onto a random rooftop that there's no point that it needs to be there in the first place. It actually adds the match flow, has a straight up front line to where you can expect your enemies to be. It adds good map design, and overall, it's how the game should be playing. And if you disagree with me, then I'm just going to say you've probably never played a game from a competitive standpoint and you do not understand game design at all. Just simple fact is that. And I'm not trying to be rude, but majority of these people that tried to say that it's good game design are going 11 and 13 all game using a sniper laying in a bush. So, is what it is. Just being honest here. Anyways, the other map, Terminal, again, without the pavlo, people have to play the front lines. They have to, they actually have to push up. They have to try to work as a team, hold different angles, and try to push the enemies back further. It plays like a tug of war, which is an amazing style of gameplay. It plays how domination or conquest should feel, whatever you want to call it. And overall, the tanks just can't sit there and farm infantry all day. You can actually safely rotate around the map as an infantry soldier, and you could do that on this map as well because there's a lot of differences in height, there's a lot of different little buildings you can run through, and overall I think that these two maps have actually saved ground war for me. I genuinely have a lot of fun when I'm playing these maps because they actually feel like ground war. They feel like Modern Warfare 2019, where you just didn't get free rotations. Okay, that's the whole thing I'm trying to say here, is the free rotations, the free, there's no front lines on the map. There's no 300 meters between objectives and you're playing running simulator like it's Warzone. It's actually a multiplayer arena mode, which is what the whole game is designed to be. So, yeah. Anyways, I almost dropped a double nuke in this gameplay. I got my first MGB. I think my friend even got his MGB. And you guys are going to see, I go on a really quick MGB streak right here. And it's actually crazy how I didn't die. I really just don't know how I didn't die. You guys will see it. Because I could have, all they had to do is throw one Semtex at me, okay? Like, literally all the enemy team had to do was throw one Semtex at me, and I would have been dead. But they didn't, because I was running Scavenger, Tracker, I think Hardline, and what was the other one? Ghost. I was running those as my perks, and then I put a suppressor on to help me stay off the radar. Now, it's not guaranteed whenever you're running Ghost and Suppressor in this game, because for whatever reason, InfinityWard decided to completely nerf stealth gameplay, and what they did is they made it so that whenever you shoot your gun while you have a suppressor on, it disables the Ghost perk. That doesn't mean you're going to be live pinging on the radar while you're shooting if an enemy UAV is up, but if that UAV happens to sweep over you while you are still active on the radar, you will be shown to the enemies and your location will be revealed. So stealth has been heavily nerfed, which stealth was the strongest playstyle for ground war in Modern Warfare 2019. Pretty much every single good player was running a suppressor, they were running Ghost, they were running Cold-Blooded, or EOD, and then they were running Tracker as their perk 3, and they were just trying to go for stealth the entire time, so that way they could just farm, get a lot of kill streaks, get a lot of kills, take objectives a lot easier, whatever their goals were. My goal whenever I'm playing ground war is to get a lot of kills, and then if I need to, I'll go ahead and hop on some flags. If I already have my nuke and I see that, if I get my nuke so early in the game, I'm not even going to worry about playing the flags, because we already win by default with the nuke, and right here is where I should die. And this is actually the second time I have ever dropped a nuke in ground war this year. I only actually ever dropped one nuke in ground war, and it was on Said. It is so hard to get nukes in this game in ground war because of how spread out the map is. It's almost impossible. I've been close so many times, 25 plus streaks, and just die on rotation whenever I have to go somewhere else, because the flags are taken, 300 meters away is where the enemies actually are, and by the time I get across, a tank is going to kill me, a sniper's going to kill me, because, let's be honest, snipers are hit scanned in this game. They require little to no bullet lead, and they are a one-shot kill, a generous one-shot kill at very far ranges, so, I'm just being honest there. It's really easy. But I've dropped, I think actually the game I got really close on Sharif Bay, I was using a sniper as well. Like, I used to run overkill with a sniper on a lot of the maps. I almost nuked Tarak like 4 different times with a sniper. Like, it's so much easier than using a rifle on those bigger maps, because there's just so much room between the objectives, and there's a million tanks everywhere, which again, there's no team synergy in this game with tanks, right? There's no repair tool. Tanks don't even earn you kill streaks. They're basically there just for, let's be honest, lesser skilled players to get kills and earn XP and all that kind of stuff. They really don't serve a purpose. They can't even attack flags on half the maps. Tarak, that's the only map I'll say that, tanks can actually fight other tanks, and they can do various things, and they can actually cap the flags, and they have much more dynamic. But every other map, all the flags are basically just a building that you have to enter. So what purpose do the tanks really serve? They're just there for lesser skilled players to farm other players for XP and other things like that, and that's the reason they don't earn kill streaks, because it's cheese, okay? It's cheese. If you're a Battlefield player and you play ground war and you're trying to disagree with me, then let me tell you this one. Where's reviving? Where's the team synergy in this game? There is zero team synergy in Call of Duty, okay? The only team synergy you have is communicating with your squad, if you can. There's no teamwork in ground war. You can destroy a tank, it's going to respawn within a minute. There's 20 minutes in a ground war match. It's going to respawn within a minute. Okay? There's no healing tanks. There's no support class where you can give ammo to your team. Well, you can with the munitions box, but there's no, like, health kits. There's no reviving. There's no respawn beacons for your squad to strategically attack objectives. There's none of that. If you still think this game is Battlefield, do yourself a favor and go back to Battlefield, because it's never going to happen. The COD developers are not going to make this game Battlefield. It's Call of Duty. There's kill streaks. Kill streaks are the selling point of Call of Duty. They're never going to have team synergy when kill streaks exist, because imagine if you could revive a teammate over and over and over again while he has kill streaks. Imagine if you could just repair a tank over and over and over again. What would be the point of earning kill streaks? You know, it's just, the whole game is based off of what it was designed around, which is a fast-paced arcade shooter with kill streaks, and basically the skill gap in the game is trying to stay alive because the time to kill is so, you know, it's just so fast and all that kind of stuff. So it's about staying alive, getting your streaks, you know, in smaller 4v4, 5v5, it's about team. That's whenever teamwork actually matters, because you can all communicate, you can position yourself on the map, play the objectives, all that kind of stuff. Ground War is basically a free-for-all, man. It really is. It's like, when you come in here, it's really just like, I just want to come in here and have fun. That's basically what Ground War is. And I hate, there's like all these people are like so serious, they're like overly tactical, they're like, oh my god, it's, you know, the tanks, your team synergy and all this kind of stuff. It's like, dude, this is not Battlefield, man. There's not team attrition. There's none. There's none. You're having a pipe dream there with that. There's none. It's basically a challenge simulator. You come in here, you do your long shots, you do your headshots, you do challenges. You have fun. You try to go get some high streaks. You try to cap some flags, you know, maybe play around the flags, get a lot of kills around the flags, and just have fun. That's what it's meant for. There's so many people just like, I don't know. It's really weird. But anyways, I don't know. I've just been kind of ranting about Call of Duty because there's just so many people in this community that they just don't make sense to me. They really don't. Like it's crazy. I've been around playing first-person shooter games for 22 years, I think, at this point, right? And like, there's so many people in this community that just have the Dunning Kruger effect, right? They've been playing for like, I don't know, a couple years. They never played on a competitive level. They never did anything with it other than just sit there and camp in a corner with a sniper, get 11 kills a game, and they're like, yeah, man, it's about the realism and stuff. Like, bro, just stop. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? Dunning-Kruger effect in full. I'll see you on the next one.